bring over here. So, currently, I have to ask, is our new person going to follow these strangers to their home?
Well, I mean, they offered me a place to stay that isn't like the little cardboard box I was living in a second ago. Yeah.
Oh, no. I
You know, for a princess, you're not very picky.
I grew up on a swamp planet. I don't know what you. Also, oh fuck, I forgot what my character was.
No, that was it.
that was it. Yeah,
exactly.
you had it on.
Okay.
Don't worry, you had it.
Okay.
But yeah, essentially, okay, you follow them back, and you come into like almost business district-like. There's some shops lining the place, and eventually you arrive at this place with a sign above the door saying "Zero Risk Security" with a symbol that I have posted on the screen right now, above the door.
As soon as the doors open, Aiden, as is customary, goes, "Honey, I'm home. I brought no guests." And I'm gonna start putting on my slippers, and I'm gonna point to the right. You can leave your shoes here if I'm gonna actually look towards her feet. Do you have shoes?
Like a small human child looking towards you, like, what are you like? Oh, so what are you?
Hello,
discussing?
child. Do you know how to get shoes on hooves? I have never encountered this situation before, but children are very creative. I hear. Tell me, child.
She raises one hand and gives a few signs, and then points towards like the pile of slippers. Oh, Aiden. She basically said, "There's ones in there. Just look."
I'm gonna tell Grabby in sign language, thanks, and I'm gonna rummage through the pile of slippers.
Yeah, there are basically universal slip-on like slipper socks. Basically, like there are many races that visit your place.
Gotcha.
Of
I'm
course,
gonna
Rihanna's
take
gonna be
a
prepared.
couple of different types of socks, and I'm gonna bring them back. How much do I get for completing the quest?
You get a respectful nod from Gabrielle.
Good. Anyway, is Burana home? Why is she not coming?
Yeah, she sides back. She's at the festival.
Makes
I
sense.
thought you knew.
Wait, of course she's there. Why aren't you there with the rest of the kids? What you doing here?
She holds up the cocoa.
Okay. And I ruffle up her hair. Well, we got people staying over. Make sure if Burana comes back to let her know in case I'm not around. Anyway, come in here. I'll show you the living room. Careful of the toys if there's any around. Last time there was a party here, one of the mercs stepped on a piece of Lego. He still hasn't recovered.
She does nod, but she's staring towards Brian, just like she's so confused.
Oh, I see that and say, Brian, she's wondering what you are.
Oh, frick. I remember things. I like crouch down. I say, I wave. How do I communicate with her? Do I speak to her and you will translate for me?
Gray just looks towards Aiden, passes off the cocoa to him, and then gets out a small data pad and writes on it and holds up the letters. It's like, you can just speak to me.
Oh, okay, good. I don't want to go around making assumptions. You know how it is. It's good to establish a concrete line of communication first. But hello, my name's Brian. It's nice to meet you.
Thiveron will send her a mental message just saying, "This one's weird. Just play along."
So yeah, she just nods then.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm a Kaber. You probably haven't heard of us. Very small race, but thank you so much for letting me into your home. And yes, it's a pleasure to meet you and to be here. Thank you.
She smiles a little, and by the way, I put a picture of her in the bottom left, and she
She's
even has
adorable.
she has a small bio as well. But yeah, essentially she writes again as she's looking at the others for a moment, thinking if she should write this, keeps writing, and then goes, "It's fine, Aiden brings back all the strays."
As one of the strays, Prava waves.
Yes, he has been very kind to me. Thank you very much, Aiden. I am glad I am not spending the night in the cardboard box.
Jesus Christ, you slept in a cardboard box?
Yes, we established this last time.
Yes, and it's still very shocking to me and alarming. Nobody should live like that.
I only have so many creds. I have to save money where I can. This could be a very long journey I am on.
But seriously, though, I guess being a princess on your planet's not all it's cracked up to be. They could have at least give you some funds.
I had the biggest swamp house. We had 2 rooms.
Huh.
Wait. As you're all speaking, all you hear is some like jostling as this rather large SRO, this robotic being, comes in through the door holding a big like box. He's like, "Oh, everyone, out of the way! We're bringing in things."
Oh, Bro 9, you made it. I'm gonna step out of the way, make some room for him. By the way, I've been sipping
boss.
from. I've been sipping through Grabby's cocoa. Half her glass is missing now.
She's hanging off you in protest.
I
So-
completely ignore her. She's hanging off me.
So as they're bringing in, essentially they're bringing in your loot, and it's like, we put all this stuff in the living room since there's no one about.
Sure. We better clear the stuff out before the kids get home, though.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, good job.
And,
You can take the rest of the night off, man. Once you're done with that stuff.
Good, I could go and get a beer. It's nice to meet you. He like just was by. He's like, nice to meet you. I hope you enjoy it here.
Yes, I did. Hello, nice to meet you. Thank you for carrying such a big box. It must have been very heavy.
No problem. I'm BR0-9.
Ah, BR0-9. It's a pleasure. I am Bryn. That's spelled BRYN.
Ah, good to meet you. Anyway, I'm gonna go and get a beer. See you later.
See you, Bro 9. Oh,
Bye, BR0-9.
speaking of which, I'm gonna give Grabby her cup back. So, what's everybody having? I'm not as good at cooking and fixing stuff up as Murana, but I can whip up some basic stuff if you guys are hungry. Oh yeah, we should order some pizza as well. I think I'll check the fridge. Maybe it's already here.
So, essentially, you all gotta hang around the base for the remainder of the day then,
Yeah.
and basically relax here because you got loot to distribute.
I'm gonna
Would
fix
you-
up some dinner and some drinks for everybody, and probably at some point the pizza's gonna arrive. The emergency emotional support for Thiveron, as I like to call it.
Ah, yes. Poor
Yep.
Thiveron.
But he does not forget, before Gravity leaves, to ask her through a telepathic message if she's been studying or not.
Oh, Ravi just turns around and she does give a nod. She, she gives a nod for a moment and remembers, right, it's him. And then she types it out and makes sure to send it to your data pad that, yeah, she has been studying. It's all up in her room.
Okay. Just making sure.
She was thinking of actually going to the Magic Festival tomorrow to try and learn more about the magical ways, since it's so interesting. Seems like
Thiveron
magic has
has
caught
a
her attention.
satisfied smile on his face as he goes to get pizza. At least one person is following the advice.
Oh
though
yes,
his
she's
sister never does.
a very good student. Learns well.
Right, so since you were here last time, we kind of did some remodeling of the place, opened up some of the rooms and such. I think you guys will be safe to pick up a room on the 3rd floor. I think we've got all the guest rooms currently open right now. I think only Z must be, roaming around the place, but she's probably at the Magic Festival with Murana, so just pick a room, whichever one you want. Elevator's that way, by the way. So, Bryn, what's your poison?
Gracie Gravity's just watching this chaos unfold as she goes over and sits next to a rather down Thiveron, eating pizza.
I mean,
I
I was
think we
thinking
need
it's a
to
good
go back
opportunity
to
to ask
festival.
Bryn about her planet a little bit, find out what's the deal over there and what's going on,
Sure.
After getting everybody situated with a drink and some food, and we're all, winding down around the table, Aiden pipes up. So, Bryn, you mentioned your planet's in a bit of a pickle right now. What's up with that?
Yeah, it's oh god, sorry, I just lost it. It is in a little bit of trouble, as I mentioned at the bar earlier. My planet is slowly dying. Unless we, it's kind of like a crystal. It's not very large. Well, it's not huge. It's pretty big. It's a pretty big crystal because it was powering the whole planet. But it was taken by the Reed Foundation when they came to. They said it was like a scientific expedition. They were trying to map out all of the planets outside of the the Pact Worlds, and they said that they've been to many other planets and were researching the different biomes and how they work and just sciencey things. And we were like, yes, we would. It is very difficult to become protected under the Pact Worlds as an outside planet. You have to have a good system and in order to get protection from them. So we were very interested in maybe in the future having our planet become part of the system as a colony. But as I said, they took advantage of our generosity, and when we showed them the crystal, they started doing research. And one night we noticed all of their stuff. They had just left, and it was gone. They took the very thing that powered our world, and they knew it. They knew that it was the only thing that was keeping our planet alive.
I guess that's one of the downsides of not being part of the core worlds. I mean, laws don't apply out there in the middle of nowhere. Those bastards just came and went without anybody being able to do anything about it, huh?
They didn't. We don't know exactly how much longer we can go. We have some power saved up that we're using to siphon into the world in order to keep it going for as long as we can. But the outside of the main city, it's very difficult to keep crops going, and what we have when I left, it was struggling immensely. There could be famine now. I've been gone for over, and she gets really sad and she starts like chugging the whiskey again.
Thiveron has stopped eating his pizza and walked over, and he puts a hand on your shoulder and says, my people too understand your plight. Our star is dying. I am currently looking for a world for us to move to without sacrificing many of our cultural ways of life. If there's something that I can do to aid you, you just have to ask.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I'm sorry to hear about your plight. It is such a sad fact of the world that many of us struggle, and I will gladly help you too if you need it, because it's only by working together that we can hope to make anything better.
Man, a lot of people coming from broken worlds. The galaxy sure is a hostile place, apparently.
So basically you're bonding over the fact that
I come from a dying world too!
Yeah.
Oh, we didn't do that!
So a lot of people I see are drowning their sorrows tonight. Thiveron with pizza, right now with alcohol.
Prava, by the way, is in full like metal mode. Like anytime someone's drinking too much, he runs over a water. Every once in a while, he'll like telekinetically slow the flow of liquor. Like when Brian chugs down, he just like puts a little bit of force to like cut the flow in half.
After eating 2 full pizzas, Thiveron is starting to kind of get himself back together because even though he doesn't agree with his sister's actions, he understands why she's taking those actions. And it does make him feel at least a little bit of kinship to find somebody else whose planet is in danger of dying.
Thiveron is so happy that your planet is dying.
No, it's like a kinship. Like, yeah, he feels like he's made a new connection to somebody, and that makes him happy.
Yeah.
Well, not many races can, well, say that their world is dying after all. So it's, it's a rare kinship.
He's also feeling kind of urgent. He wants to get back to his room, and he wants to do the Tell Futures downtime activity for Bryn to see if he can uncover anything that might help her, because her planet seems like it's in even more dire straits than LaJoc is. So, because LaJoc probably has a couple hundred years left before the star finally dies enough for it to just freeze entirely.
Oh yeah, it's almost entirely frozen now, but essentially yes.
Well, entirely inhospitable.
Yeah.
Well, Thiveron, I was a little bit confused. I know you are going through some hardship, and with the thing with your sister, I don't know if it's too much to talk about. I understand. You seem to be going through a lot. You're very kind to me, and I appreciate. I'm kind of confused, to be honest. What brought you? You guys were going after, yes, the disease, but then your sister, and just like, I'm just unclear as to what you guys are. What are you guys doing? What are your plans? What role do you have here? You know, where? Oh God.
Kuzon kind of looks at you, Brian. It's like, one thing that you should know about us is we're mercenaries, we're Salvagers. Like, we're just a couple of well-to-do business people. And you see him like shrug, and then we get tangled into all of these plots.
Basically,
mercenary. Hold on. Aiden's a mercenary. We're philanthropist adventurers. All right, let's make that clear.
Thiveron is gonna look at you and say, "We belong to an organization called the Salvagers. We perform odd jobs around the Pact Worlds in return for compensation, but unfortunately for us, things have been unusual since joining this company."
I would have just been perfectly content adding to my savings account, but
but then shit started happening. But what kind of unusual things do you run into?
We seem to become embroiled in some of the Pact World's most recent happenings. For instance, we were at the center of the riots on the Adari. We encountered a resort ship in the Vast that was controlled by rogue AI.
Prava has
filled with undead creatures
with superpowers who's going around and causing problems for us in multiple different junctures of our journey.
I think you guys are just confusing her more. Look, all you need to know is that
you have an arch villain with superpowers chasing you across the galaxy.
Among other things, yes.
Tell me more about these superpowers. Does he?
Prava literally starts juggling with no hands, just like telekinetically, like kind of like these.
Wait, bees? Wait, what?
Nothing has been.
Prava points to the tiny star floating around him.
Oh, this is very bright.
So, Solarians, they're pretty famous around these parts, but I guess you're from out of the system. We do what stars can do. Probably never actually had to explain this before, so he kind of stops and puts his finger against his mandibles and starts just clicking.
What do you mean, like stars do? You have nuclear energy inside of you? You're a ball of flame?
Prava holds a small little flame of light in his hand. Yes.
Oh,
also gravity stuff too, and
they provide life.
Yeah. It's all about the balance, right, between creation and destruction, light and darkness, cold and heat.
Anyway, it's I know it's a lot to take in, but it's been a pretty complicated job, at least from where I'm sitting. Ever since we started working from the Benefactor, it's been one major fuck up after another. Haven't had a single normal job yet. It's always either riots or some kind of long lost ship. It's crazy,
Hey,
you know?
those were the best jobs that we did for the people in the Pact Worlds. Those are the jobs where we actually did good in this system.
By the way,
good for
you
you,
hear from
maybe.
you're actually gonna hear just the video behind you here, bing, as Gravy's little data slate pings off a message, and it says, "Wonder why it's your fault."
Yeah, exactly.
No, the riots were happening and the information was being suppressed. They still would have happened if we're just the only reason anyone knows about them.
Types out again. Yeah, but that wasn't part of a Benefactor's job, so don't go blaming him.
Why are you signing
Some
up with the
reason-
Benefactor?
Yeah,
Wait,
some
is-
kind of reason she's defending him.
Wait.
She looks away from you when you mention
What
it. It's
happened?
like,
Did he bribe you? Tell me. I start shaking the child.
You can't shake children. What's wrong with you?
Prava kind of goes dead in the eyes and steps away to call Elabor.
if you're gonna call Elabor, then she is gonna pick up almost right away as Gravy's just been shaken, but she just looks nonplussed about the entire thing. It's like, yeah, whatever.
Ella, great to see you. It's been so long. Are you guys
you're
in
back.
contact with Aiden's young ward? Prava's just getting right to it. Prava's just...
Well, we're in contact with Zero Risk, of course.
Right. Gravy just seems like very emotionally invested in what
Is
you
that
guys...
the white-haired child?
Yes, exactly her.
Oh, yes. She was very nosy.
Oh, did she sneak into your place too?
No, she didn't find her way into our place, but she was asking a lot of questions, so we had to placate her.
Okay, that checks out. Not to be accusing to you, of course. I just wanted to, you know how hard it is to get information directly out of kids.
Yes. But hopefully she has been silent on the most part. We don't need her asking questions around Absalom about us. You understand?
I mean, not super into the way you said that, but yeah, I understand.
I didn't mean anything untoward. I'm just saying we don't need attention. That's all. She's actually panicking when you've almost sounded disappointed in how she said that.
Prava's upset himself and making her like that, and now he's in like full playstating mode. He's like, no, you're doing great. You're doing great. I didn't mean to.
So both of you just going back and forth, panicking. Lovely.
Shake.
Right. So, is this how the rest of the evening is gonna carry on? Is it?
Yes.
Prava and Edible are gonna be on the comms, trying to placate each other. Like, sorry, I didn't mean to say we would do anything to a child. I'm sorry, we're not like that. Stuff like that. So, yes. Eventually, I guess the evening will wind down. And is there anything you guys want to do before you guys head to bed?
Yes, my downtime activity of seeing features for Bryn.
Go ahead then.
I will look out for these. Hopefully none of these anything terrible can happen tomorrow. Thank you so much.
And as you say that, he goes to tell you the potential stomach bugs you might get depending on what tomato you buy at the market tomorrow.
Oh no! I didn't even realize there were so many tomato options.
He's like, yes, do not buy the one with the worm in it. You may think that it reminds you of home, but this is an Absalonian space disease worm.
All of the tomatoes on my planet have worms in them. This is
So, eventually the day goes on and ends, and sometime during the night there was a little bit of rustle in the building, but of course people coming back from a festival. And soon it is morning. What are you guys going to be doing today?
Thiveron staggers out of his room, pizza hungover.
Just so much pizza.
He's got like instead of like red eyes and pale face, he's got like pizza, cheese, and sauce crusted to every part of his face. Instead of a 5 o'clock shadow, he just stumbles to the bathroom to wash himself up.
Oh God, is that pepperoni on me? Oh God, I'm a mess.
Not again. I need to stop this. I have a problem.
As you're going past, Wilder does notice that you're coming out of your room. It's like, I hope you had a good day.
Thiveron chooses to ignore that. And, well, he just says, sorta. There was pizza.
Oh, at least there was pizza. With that, she carries on her day, like going about her day.
He says, oh wait, if a half-elf woman with rose-colored hair comes looking for me, please show her the hospitality that you've shown us.
You mean just you and not Aiden? Okay, understood.
Exactly.
Don't worry, I'll take care of her. I mean, we're having a lot of guests over ever since you guys have, started hanging around. Not that it's bothered me. I'll be sure to look out.
Sense motive.
Can Prava do a social skills check to see if it actually bothers him?
Oh, by the way, for the benefit for new companion, maybe you should get the pop-up out so she can see who Murana is.
Okay. I always try including text on NPCs. So if you want to take it, you can.
Does Thiveron know if he should be afraid or not?
No, she seems rather calm. In fact, she's much, much calmer than you've seen her in a good long while. Either that she's tired from yesterday, or maybe the fact that you guys essentially brought her back a girlfriend.
I was gonna say, progress of the question mark.
And she's probably happy that she didn't have to clean up after Aiden's she didn't have to cook or clean after Aiden's meal.
Oh, that too.
Careful with those on the left, though. I think they have a maglock or something. If it doesn't recognize your DNA, it's gonna zap you.
Oh, that actually makes me want to touch it more, oddly enough. But no, I will not. Okay, I will just take thank you for sword. This will come in handy, and anytime I stab someone with it, I will think of your generosity.
Okay, you see that Aiden's a little weirded out by that, but he takes it. Anyway, he's gonna put the plates back to normal and hide the weapons. Right then, as soon as everybody's up, should we go and check out what the fair's all about?
So, essentially, you notice that the children of thing are not awake yet. Apparently, they exhausted themselves last night.
Oh yeah, that reminds me,
Yes,
Grabby did wanna come. I'm gonna at least go and check on Grabby, see if she wants to join us.
She looks like she's studying, but she does nod, I think.
I'm gonna take her books away. Quit studying, you nerd. Come on, let's go.
Thiveron will not be pleased. But yeah, she does.
Some
she will follow
father.
you if you take her with you.
Yeah, I'm gonna take her. She's like, hooray, no more studying! Woo!
She's pleased to go to the festival. So, you go to the festival, then. So, as you guys prepare yourselves and start heading out into the Absalom once more, you take your new friend with you, bonded over the fact that you killed some swarm cultists, as you go to the magic festival.
Only best friends kill swarm cultists in synchronized fashion, you know?
As I was saying, as you're starting to go through the streets, first your car, then you land, of course. As you're going through the streets, you notice that it's much less packed than it was before. There are still loads of people around, going around all the different stalls leading towards a museum, but it's not the complete frenzy you saw before. It's a bit quieter as well.
Kuzon's gonna ride in on Fred. He's just gonna be sitting on the back, just like relaxing, like Like I imagine he like crafted a part of his back that like lifts up so you can sit on it like a recliner.
So you're just on your little four-legged mule, just.
Yeah,
So-
but Kuzon
Yes, you-
does like his robotic buddies.
You see the many stalls and people calling out to you as people pass. It's like, come, enjoy the food, watch it sparkle in the light. You won't believe the enchantments I have on this lovely jewelry.
Can I take a mysticism check to see what he's got on his jewelry?
Sure. As you look at the jewelry, you notice that these are very, very minor enchantments. Some of them makes a gem change different colors, others change depending on mood. There's also one that actually makes it more resistant to like degrading and stuff like that. There's nothing really big and grandiose being sold at this area. Apparently the stalls sell minor magical items, while there's shops inside the museum that sell the big stuff.
Thiveron walks away unimpressed.
Hold on, if those mood rings actually like show people's emotions, that's a pretty impressive enchantment. There's 1,000 ways to use that.
Thiveron will just look at you and say, "No spying on people's inner thoughts, Prava,
You mean
But
not
how else
again?
am I supposed to get to know my friends?
by talking to them."
I mean, that too, obviously.
You
Thiveron's
actually
just going to shake his head and keep walking.
As you're walking along, you see like a centaur with a sign across his body, and he's like, "Come and enjoy the clothing that we have. All shapes and sizes right here for your amusement." You also see somebody selling the meat from magical beasts. Enjoy an exotic taste.
Hey, maybe that centaur has shoes for Bryn.
That the exotic meat stall sounds quite alarming. Not gonna lie.
I don't know why I was thinking about giant space rats.
If she goes in and starts perusing the wares.
This one is only 3 credits. There's also a magical kind that you can have for, well, quite a bit more.
Oh,
Ever wanted to jump 20 feet in the air? Only some races are capable of such a feat.
you have jumping boots of jumping?
Yes, we do. But yes, don't listen to him. If you want these marvelous jumping shoes, they're only 200 credits.
I would like to inspect these jumping shoes.
Yeah, what are these jumping shoes? Because I have jump jets. Are they better?
Yes.
Are they better than jump jets?
Yeah, essentially you can activate them. Let me see. Twice per day in order to jump 30 feet.
Can I not do that the thing, like the shopping roll, the diplomacy?
Yeah, you can. Yeah.
Okay, not too bad, not too bad. Probably just gonna kind of like go in and like kind of like with his knowledge of merchant business, he's gonna like predict like what these cost to produce, like how much the shopkeeper's making on it, and just kind of like make his own price recommendation of about 180, 190.
Let me think. He's you can see him like hanging to you. It's like, yes, but they're very. I'll even change a color. I will take 10 credits off. How about that?
Probably not satisfied.
Yes, 190 credits if you would.
Oh, quite a deal. Good job, Prava. I would love to get. Yes, as she starts pulling out her credits. Are you going to change the color now, or should I?
Yes, of course. He's going to take him in the back and start like
Oh, okay.
changing the color with a bit of like this magic tool he uses.
Ooh, fancy.
So yes, you bought one of the minor magical items of the stores. And he's like, there you go, here's your pink shoes. I hope you enjoy. Thank you, thank you.
Yes, thank you very much, good sir. It is a pleasure to be meeting you and to be doing these lovely dealings.
You too. Enjoy the rest of the festival. Ah, the parade's coming. Enjoy. And he goes back to his store. As you see the parade's coming past, you see these exotic elven dancers, male, female, with 2 swords, swinging them about themselves, letting go at one point as the swords almost magically dance around them as they grab it again. They're doing these grandiose spectacles and movements with each other. The float behind them is a floating almost ship that just follows them behind, as one of the what appears to be an elven mage is stood on top of the thing, waving at everybody.
Check it out, Kuzon. All that magical stuff you don't believe in, right here on display.
I mean, the thing is with Kuzon is like, I know it's technically magic, but Kuzon views like Prava as like a scientific marvel in terms of like nuclear energy and shit. So like from Kuzon's perspective, Prava that's just the word he uses for what he does is magic. But he's like, yeah, no, Kuzon, like, Prava is just a freak of science.
So, essentially, as all this parade stuff is going on, you see people like dancing to the music a little. Gravi's like missing.
Oh wait,
God.
I was watching at her. Where'd she go?
You see her over one of the stalls already. She's looking at.
I'm gonna go
She's
after her.
paying for a candy.
I'm just gonna keep an eye on her, basically. Since, you know, she tends to disappear a lot.
You hear an announcement being called over the tannoy for a moment, saying, "The museum is now opening. Please, one at a time, and enjoy your time at the magical festival."
And Aiden turns around and Prava's disappeared, putting himself as close to the front of that line as possible.
Bryn is hot on Kava's heels.
Oh no, there's two of them. Well, as you're lining up towards the museum, you're slowly going through the line. You see magicians on either side, blow spurts of flame up into the air. Really, magic hasn't, well, been concentrated this much in one place in Absalom, as people are like going, welcome, welcome. A small illusion spell as you step through the door. A magical light almost blinds your eyes as you see a grandiose hall, massive and resplendent. If any of you have been to the Absalom Theatre, it's essentially how it was before, but it's very much split up into small sections now. There are small plinths and the like. And as you're standing there, you see people going about on their tours, but there's always like this small figure following about. And as you guys are about to go through, you hear, "Hey, welcome. My name's Barry, and I'll be your tour guide." And as you look around at Prava, as you go, "Oh, you don't see anyone down here." And as you look down to around about your chest height, you see a small fairy fluttering up and down. A very tired-looking fairy. The guy's got disheveled hair. He has like a small leather vest on. His eyes are bags under him as he's looking very tired. And he's got like some jeans on, tiny jeans. He's like, "Yeah, I'll be your tour guide. How many of you are there?"
5, 6 of us.
Good. Yeah, my name's well, technically it's call me Barry then, my actual name. Just so you know, there's some ground rules. No, I don't do parties. No, you can't carry me, and no, I will not entertain the kid.
But you will take us to see absolutely everything in here, right? And tell us all about like the history and the techniques that were used to make it, and any interesting fun facts that you have, maybe some personal anecdotes about your life. I'm probably just doing like that, like energetic tourist thing, like for this course.
It's like, I will show you things. I'm not sure about the anecdotes about my life, but...
And Thiveron goes, "Fucking tourists."
I would also like to know your entire life history. Where did you grow up? Who are your parents? Like,
By the way, in
give
the
us a
background,
rundown of every major life event you've ever experienced, and also every accent you happen to be able to do.
I can do many accents, but I'm gonna guess that you're all together.
by the way, as this guy's talking, there's an incredible, like, Aiden is not trying to hide it. He's very disillusioned and very judgmental and very unhappy when he sees this fairy, because every image of the fairies when he was growing up and his mom was reading him bedtime stories immediately got shattered.
You can see that the rest of the fairies that the other people have are very stereotypical fairies. You see like these cute little fairy girls with flowing dresses and all that, and they're flowing about going, yes, but this dude just seems done.
I imagine that there are so many magical auras here that Thiveron definitely needs his seeing eye human.
You can use sense, but yeah, there's a lot of magic here. It's very much if somebody put off a flashbang in your face.
I guess I'm walking around. In one hand I have Grabby, in the other hand I have Thiveron. Okay, let's go.
Yeah, and he's got you on a leash. And he put like a little cloak on you that says, "Don't pet me."
What would you like to see first? Let's see. Would you like the normal tour or my personal upgraded tour for, showing you around?
Depends on your definition of upgraded, but that sounds amazing.
He flies up and leans on his shoulder. It's like, trust me, much better. You get to see good stuff at the beginning and end. The very front load or in the normal tour.
And what happens in the middle?
Yeah, you get some basic stuff, but then by the end, it's all the small, little, not interesting stuff, and people tend to tone out.
Listen, I want to see everything.
Hey, don't worry, my tour includes everything.
Then, by your means.
Okay then, and he floats up and claps his hand. Okay, all you giants, follow me. And the Spork too. Gravy does not look amused that he called her that. So,
Far.
so first things first. Why don't we go and see the room of possibilities?
That sounds like a very favorable place.
What could possibly be in there?
Of course. Allow me to show you. And with that, he makes you follow along, and there seems to be like a curtain. It's like, come on through. That's right. He's like ushering each of you in. It's like, that's right. Yep, they're going in. And as you go in, eventually you come into this the room is designed the same as the theater, but it almost feels like it's not the same, because as it looks out over space itself, and you swear the theater was in the middle of a station. And this is what you see. A magical scepter floats in the middle of a room. These discs of gold floating around the area. The machines are making sure everything's nice and stable as everything twists and turns. Thiveron, the magical auras in this place are all over the place. It's like threads coming from these discs and out into the ether. Welcome to a room of possibilities.
This is some real magic, Thiveron says, and he immediately starts hurriedly rushing around.
I would be careful. I should have warned you beforehand, but normally this room is prepped for, the end of a front-loaded front section, so you get used to all the good stuff. But this area, if you look into one of those portals, you may not like what you see. Just a warning. Don't go.
Thiveron points toward his eyes.
Oh no, you will see.
Prava can't hear that. That's a challenge as far as he's concerned. I'm gonna look into one of these.
Thiveron, swept up in the moment, immediately looks into one of them. Normally wise and careful, he's like, this is some magic. He hasn't felt like this about magic since he was training. Everything has been kind of the same, kind of nerdy study magic that he's always done.
Right. So, Thiveron, as you look into the portal, you literally see yourself once more. You don't see very often, but normally is through magical means. And in your mind's eye, you witness you standing on a snowy bank. You're dressed in the traditional clothes of your people. But not only that, it looks almost like chieftain clothes. As you stand atop this mound and looking over a small town, people going back and forth as your eyes now healed and, you don't know if they're robotic or magical, but you're looking towards the dying sun.
Okay, Thiveron will step away, but he knows that this is only one possibility, so he's not entirely grief-stricken at his apparent failure to find a new planet.
As you say that, the Girl Fairy does come up and say, you may think that this is something to do with time, but it is not. These are alternate realities, if you think about it, or multiple worlds. This is what you could have been at this point in time.
The cult leader?
The
Oh,
cult
God,
of
only-
Thiveron.
If only Durst was here.
And
So it shows the presence, but different versions
Yes.
of the present. Oh,
exactly, I like you. He pats you on the horns. I like you. You understand.
I look in every single one.
Rob was going from portal to portal, like, what about this one? What about this one? What about this one?
Thiveron is though a little disappointed because he expected to find some sort of other insight, but this is actually the kind of magic that he uses normally every single day.
By the way, is
It's
it
like-
okay if I just imagine that Prava looks into a portal and all he sees is himself looking back at himself and waving at him happily?
There are points where he does see that. Actually, Prava, your story seems a little off from other people's. That when you look into many of the portals, they look almost exactly like you. Like there's nothing really different, as if you were always meant to come here, or at least many of you would have been drawn here to just wave into a portal. But there is one that may disturb you a little. Is that there is one that is almost completely dark and blackened, and you recognize the sheen being the same as that on Cole. Seems like this may have been where you got the other half of the artifact.
Okay. I was just gonna kind of stare sadly at that like dark image, and almost like trying to like send help into that world. He like pulses photon energy towards the portal.
The portal waves a little as it floats off, but it doesn't. Your other self just continues to seemingly not look at the portal, but he's looking at something else in the distance. And you see a goblinoid figure walking towards him before the image phases out.
Oh, no.
And of course, Brian, as you're looking, you actually see another version of you that's still on the planet. Another version of you that's still enjoying themselves. And if you look in another one, you see one where, well, that you're still in the box at that current moment. Seems like that may have been a world where you didn't meet the group. That you wouldn't have been here. Still in your box, wondering where exactly everything happened. At least you survived the encounter of some cultists.
Oh hey, that's a fridge box. A very good one too. I know that model.
High quality box.
only the best cardboard for living on the streets.
I was gonna say Kuzon, it's like I don't know what you're all reacting to. It's a total farce. Let me prove it. And like I bet I'll look into this thing and there's some kind of I'll be able to make out the pixels in the monitor or whatever simulation they have going on in there. And I'll what's up?
As you look,
Hold on, Thiveron,
Hmm?
knowing the customs of his people, warns Kuzon that he may see something that he does not want to see.
as you do, you do see what was described to you by Thiveron. The fact that you may not have lived, but you do notice that throughout all these you lacked any sort of implants that your body had at the time, as each of your bones at this point are scattered around the place that you fought. But if you dared to look into another portal, you would actually notice that there is another you, covered in scars and scrapes, but you're still on your planet.
So just like digging around in a mud hole, like scrounging things.
Yes, but you are surrounded by other Exketi. They seem communal with you, happy to see you. And you see on the disc, each of you have seen on disc these letters that basically describe possibility and a bunch of numbers across it. And then probability on the side. Normally it's been like anything over 30%, but this one seems to be around about 10% of the time.
I'll just kind of Kuzon will like you'll see like Kuzon's like he kind of just like clamps his jaw down a little bit, and then but he lifts up and you see that he's like putting it's like it was nothing, total farce. I left, I right.
Quickly, roll sense motive.
Pixie's like, folk staff in the middle was used as seeing entities of a possible world, you know, sort of a truth-sayer sort of thing. Kind of interesting if I do say so myself, but I knew you guys could handle the emotional impact.
Before we leave, Thiveron wants to send a message to Grabby saying that this is the type of magic that he has been teaching her, and that it would be educational for her to view one of these, but that they will only show her possibilities and not the absolute.
Speaking of which, what I wanted to do was I want to grab Grabby and lift her up in front of one of the mirrors.
And weirdly enough, as they're looking in, there's always like 0% chance, but there's like different images of her. Like there's one in a medieval setting, one in an underground setting, and she's like walking about by herself and the like. It's very weird, and she's so confused by these images. It's like she turns towards Thiveron, it's like, and writes it down and makes sure you get it. It's like, this is very cool, but I don't really understand.
Thiveron will reply by saying in her mind that sometimes magic is best used to predict what could have been, to learn lessons that will guide your true future.
She nods sagely. If you're all done with this room, then we can move on. I mean, it's okay if some of you are scared to look into the discs.
Aiden's not scared. He's strong enough to forge his own destiny.
Oh no!
What, you're calling me a coward? Aiden's gonna look into the mirror.
It's his wedding day, isn't it?
As you look into the mirror, you see yourself, like looking exactly the same, mimicking your actions. But what's weird is that this is a 90% chance. Meaning this is about 90% of your realities. You are here.
See? I told you. The strong forge their own destiny. Nothing's left to chance.
That's normally not how things work.
What do you mean?
I mean, people have influences over you. That's... I'm sure. Even magic can make mistakes.
Aiden just shrugs.
Barry, what do you see when you look into these discs?
Me? I
Yes.
still see myself in my forest. I looked at it a few times, saw myself with a girlfriend. That was like a 5% chance one.
Oh.
Barry does not look pleased. He's like,
I am sorry. Yeah, that's Barry.
What actually happens is he looks in, he sees 100% chance of being at this job, and he just kills him.
It's like that was like 60%. I could never escape this fucking place. So, anyway, how about now we've explored the majesty of other realities? That's, you know, how about we go check out some magical items? I'm sure you guys would love those.
That sounds like
we
fun.
do.
Let's do that. I have my friend over here, Kuzon. He just loves everything magical. He likes to touch it. He likes to know how it works. Show him everything.
Yeah, he just you just see his he narrows his eyes and is glaring at you, Aiden, as his round goggles kind of start going over his head and over his eyes to block his line of sight.
So, yes, he eventually takes you out of the magical room. One moment. Now this is an item that I'm sure very many magic casters would adore to have. And he flutters over towards this little plinth with a blackened candle with runes glowing across it. Now this candle, I'm sure many of you magic casters are very used to concentration spells. Well, this candle can hold a concentration spell for you.
Are any of these items here for sale to acquire, or is it just to look at and be pretty and be wow?
There are gift shops at the end where you can buy some of the magic items, don't worry.
Ooh, I love when the tour ends with a gift shop.
Now, let us see. What's the next item on the docket? Ah, yes. Since we are right next to it and it's in the same section, how about you take a look at this? I'll post this on the page instead of a link. This is known as the Coat of Amber.
You could probably at this point, like, you see Kuzon's like reclining back in his chair, and he has the goggles over his eyes, and the more perceptive, you probably hear some light snoring.
This coat's beautiful. Is it just like a nice designer piece, or?
Does Thiveron understand what it does with the mysticism?
As he's about to explain to one, you know what this coat does. It may be almost a simple-esque thing, but this coat is capable of forging magical gems that store spells. Basically, basically a certain amount of time per day, it can store spells into a spell gem of a certain level. You don't know everything about it, but you know that's the basics of what it does.
I say that.
And Barry's like, thanks. That's me explaining.
I'm sorry. You go ahead.
Oh, no, you explained it perfectly, trust me. So yes, essentially that's what it does. You can hand these off to other people, you can make a certain amount a day, you know, all that good stuff.
Barry, call me crazy, but I get the feeling you're not enjoying your job very much.
Huh? No, I'm enjoying my job. Anyway.
I love it when it's over.
I will explain. This coat was once made by a rather well-known magician on their planet. He wanted to make sure that his friends had some of his protection wherever they went throughout the day, no matter what. His name was... And you see him like get behind him, take out a card and look at it. He's like, shh, shh. Okay. His name was Zala. Zala the Amber Mage. Hence the Amber Coat. Yes, you may also see those little things, and you see some things crawling across the walls and some of the exhibits as they tidy up. So these are also a magical construct. They are made by the local mage of a museum. Well, the host of a museum at least. You see like these little crystal gold spiders like walking around, cleaning up and making sure everything's all tidy.
Do they have minds, or are they basically just little magic robots?
They're like little magic robots, golems.
You did mention something about weapons and armor.
Yes, that is what I'm going to bring you to next. We're going to the darker side of magic.
Prava looks less interested, but still comes.
Weirdly enough, as you look less interested, Barry seems to be perking up as you're going along to the more destructive means of magic.
And so is Aiden.
But as you are going, Brian, you notice something as you're passing by and he's explaining different items and he goes, yes, this was donated to us by a certain planet. Very interesting place, focusing on the, I believe, the storage crystals and the like. This item is from your planet. It's a rock decorated not only in crystal paints, but inside there are layers and cracks of crystal throughout the entire object. Normally these are used almost as spell stones, but they have specific purposes.
Excuse me, Barry. Who donated this item?
Oh, this item? I believe it was donated to a festival years ago. Its planet was discovered out in the vast and brought to near space thanks to a beacon, but yes, they donated this.
Oh, so the planet. Okay, I was. I was very
Did the planet give it directly, or was there like a company serving as representative, or?
I'm just the tour guide. I wouldn't exactly know how it was donated, but I can explain about it if you're interested.
Yes, please tell me what you know.
Well, think about this almost as a magical version of a battery. While it can be used to power things, it can also be used to power spells. It's, think of it like a hybrid technology, both mechanical in some ways, but also magical, as it's meant to be installed in a mechanical construct in order to power it. But if used to power up a spell, you would break the item, but your spell would, well, go up a level.
I'm
Since
curiously
it's the
taking
only
notes.
one, it's not for sale, just so we're clear. This is historical. Why are you interested anyway?
It is from my planet.
Oh, I see. Well, I'm glad your planet donated it then.
I would like.
Would I know if like we donated this specific item?
You could attempt to roll me a culture.
Oh. Wow.
As you're thinking on it,
Here's the thing. I gave you a D20 reroll.
oh, you did?
Yeah, I think I'm gonna use this for this. I need to know.
God dang it!
You did get above the 10 though, so that's important. So, while you're unsure, you don't know if your planet specifically donated this, because it could have been any one of your tribes throughout the planet. It could have been the tribe of the bloody hands that live on the opposite side of the planet that are known for eating people, or it could have been the more civilized tribes such as one of yours. But you know for a fact that this could have been donated recently, because Barry said it only been in a collection recently, so he doesn't know if it was donated recently or years ago. He did say it was technically donated years ago, but they only collected it recently. So you could have, because you were following a lead of a shipping thing of some of your people's tech coming here. Well, this could have been the item.
Ash, I couldn't help but notice that you mentioned something about eating people.
Every planet has people like that. There's dragons that eat people on your planet, it's fine.
Yeah, but they're dragons.
It's fine.
I don't think there's any cannibal Sheeran, alright? Let's say all species.
Yeah, you just
Used to be
cannibalized the
Cameron.
rest of the universe.
Back when you were swarm, sure. But yes, this item is thing. If you want, I could go and get the boss if you want to talk to him, but after the tour.
I'll be very interested in talking to him about such a beautiful object from my planet. How? Yes.
Of course, I understand. But yes, shall we move on to the weapons first, and then I will get the owner, and I can take a break. He like flutters around.
Yes. Sounds good.
Meanwhile, Grabby is like trying to touch everything. Thiveron has taught her well. She wants to learn about everything, but she wants to touch everything too.
Thiveron does send her a message, like encouraging her enthusiasm, but warning her that some magic is even beyond his understanding, and that touching is not always the best.
She seems a little disappointed in that, but does give a small nod.
He also tells her that eventually she will learn to reach out with her own magical powers to interact, rather than her bare hands.
She looks very excited by that prospect. She's like, yes.
And Thiveron will also add that that's generally safer.
So we've gone through the magical limbs of the marvelous thing. Oh, by the way, as we're passing by, there are some games here that you can play. You can, anybody can pick up a wand and test their might at aiming them, their targets. Make sure to try and hit the attendant. He's an asshole.
I mean, that sounds like a grand old time.
Yeah. And right before the weaponry, we come to these. These are called the Wings of Dawn. They were discovered in one of the cities on the sun, though they did not originate from there. We do not know who made them, but one who wears these are capable of outpacing even the fastest of vehicles in the daylight. However, when time comes to night, you will only get the briefest of speed boosts during dusk, before, sadly, the wings will simply glide you to a stop. Great for personal transport.
What if I provide my own sunlight?
I suppose you could float, but sadly it needs all natural sunlight, apparently. That's the enchantment. I see you guys are going to be the most entertaining group. But now, this weapon, he gestures towards, it looks like an old executioner sword. It has got a long handle, a very long, thick blade, but at the end it's tapered. It's got two spikes that just come off the end. I suppose this blade was actually found with the wings.
Oh, is it the Twilight Blade?
Twilight is a cooler thing, but no, it's called the Duskbringer. It has several enchantments, which I'm just going to list off per the manual I have here. Into the gloom. As a bonus action, you can slip into the shadows and reappear at any available space within 30 feet. When you reappear, your physical form remains intangible. This blade can hold 3 charges. As an action, you can expend these charges to cast certain spells. For 1 charge, you can cast Ray of Sickness. For 2 charges, Darkness. For 3 charges, you can bestow a curse.
Aiden nods. And scratches his beard. Okay, so I'll take 3. If I buy in bulk, do I get a discount?
There's only 1.
That sounds like terrible marketing. Why do you not have more of those?
It's a museum, sir.
Oh, right. Aiden looks confused for a sec. He thought he was at a weapon shop. Right.
This is how you're going to react. Maybe I shouldn't show you the rest of the weaponry.
Well, I mean, you show us all these pretty things we cannot touch and use and shoot.
Well, you
Like-
can use the Duskbringer if you really want. Maybe.
Continue with the tour, Barry.
Yes, of course. Number 1, this is called Rose's Thorn. It's a bow and arrow. It allows one to shoot arrows, magical arrows, of course, that dig into the target. It was known for use throughout history on its home planet of Calais. But sadly, somebody donated it once their society turned so peaceful that they outlawed all weapons.
Sounds like my kind of people. Where are they at?
They're all dead now.
Yeah, in hindsight, maybe they shouldn't have given their weapons away.
So I take it you have many of these bows for sale?
We have bows like these. This one's unique, though. It also comes with quite a few things. Well, this one comes with a certain boon to it. It can also, its arrows explode, but we do have some other versions in our shop.
This is actually a very good lesson for you, Prava. Like, I understand peace is important and stuff, but, you know, you have to have weapons. They're a deterrent, after all.
I mean, if everyone in the solar system would just agree to work for the benefit of everyone in the solar system, you wouldn't need anything like weapons.
I don't think animals care.
I mean, obviously, you need. That's not true. Probably throws to his throat. I could talk any animal out of anything.
I'm pretty sure a starving animal is still gonna attack you.
And if something like the swarm comes along and everybody's disarmed.
Yeah, Prava,
why
what
am I
about
talking
the
politics?
swarm, huh?
Wait, politics is as important magical items are. Oh, yes. Maybe we should stop talking about politics now. Let's see. I have, he gets out his book, he's like, let me see. The Broken Sword of Sunlight, yes. Book of Kel. How about we go see the old man?
Old man?
Yes, you see, during these times, I'm sure you know, there's certain races that are coming to Absalom.
Yes. We may know something about that, and I look towards Prava accusingly.
Maybe he means that. What race are you talking about?
The devilish kind.
Oh.
No,
None of you are
see?
religious, right?
I'm gonna look towards Thiveron.
That guy is, but we have a succubus friend. We're very progressive.
Okay. Well, there's a guy here that...
Prava,
Sorry, what was that?
such a best friend.
Thiveron still doesn't trust her.
You liked Z until you found out what she was.
You just say succubus are known for their deception. It means nothing.
She's been a good friend to us this whole time we've known her. We shared laughs and joy together on our ship. Why are you being like this?
I mean, she is drinking a lot of the booze. I don't know how I feel about that. Seriously, she guzzles that shit down hard.
Yeah, she has to suppress the urges somehow. But, yes, well, as I was explaining, we have a guy that is explaining the dark arts, you see. The darker side of magic.
Like photon magic? Or graviton magic? What do you mean?
Well, we do have a Solarian as well, but not really.
Before we go meet this old man with his quote-unquote dark magic, is it child-friendly? And I look down towards Kravi. Since we were talking about succubi.
I'm sure she can handle it. She doesn't look too phased by
source of this dark magic.
Well, the old man practices many dark arts. He practices necromancy, demon-based magic, that sort of thing. He's meant more to inform people. Don't worry, he has the proper permits and people are just he's informative.
Oh, thank God. For a moment I thought he was practicing taxes.
No, that's too evil.
Sure, let's go eat this old gent. I have questions.
Alright then. Just go down that way. I may take a rest on my feet for a minute. Hey Spog, I'm gonna use your hood. And Gabby looks confused before the fairy just into her hood. She's like, huh. She does not look
Pixie.
amused. Pixie, fairy, same thing.
That seems
If you
very
look-
unprofessional going into a customer's hood. That's...
If you look it up, it's essentially like same race called two different things. Essentially, it's like Pixie is used by some cultures, while their actual is like some sort of Celtic-esque word for fairy. So it's just he's just calling himself the same thing. He just doesn't know.
Is this like an east side, west side situation? Like a...
Nah, he's just ignorant of his own culture.
Okay.
He don't know
No,
shit.
I kind of get his point. I mean, some people, when they go on Thraxus and they call my people dragons, and others just say, "Ah, please don't eat me!" You know, it's kind of like that. No? They describe the same thing.
So yes, Thiveron, how do you? It's like Gravity's like looking towards you. It's like it's like she's looking towards you and Prava, since you guys are sort of like her magical teachers. Like, is this okay to go and see the dark arts stuff?
Thiveron will tell you that every magic has its place and every magic has its use. That what is more dangerous is the paths that it can lead down, not necessarily whether or not you use it.
Yeah, as long as he's not dealing and dabbling with taxes, it's fine.
Okay,
He does say that it would be good for her to learn about it, but to be wary about where the magic could lead her.
then she's gonna basically patter off towards where the dark arts guy is, and you see like this old man. Are you guys gonna go over and see this dark arts place?
Hell
Yeah.
yes.
Absolutely.
As you go off and enter into this dark velvet cloaked place, the place is very dark and intimidating. You can see the illumination of purple candles lighting up the place before they switch to almost azure blue as the guy turns around in his chair and says in a very flamboyant way, "Welcome."
Thiveron is relieved to see that there are no abacus for doing taxes.
Yep. As long as he's not doing taxes, it's fine.
I welcome you to the tent of the dark arts.
So, what kind of hocus pocus goes on over here?
Yes. Of course you would want to know about such my arts and my power that you can gain from such a thing. One thing, however, you agree to learning about this stuff, correct? I mean, I have to make sure due to my permit on dark magic.
As long as you keep it kid-friendly, I'm okay with anything.
Well, we are going to discuss demons and devils, but they are migrating to some small parts here and there.
I have a lot of questions about succubi, but I can't think of any reason that wouldn't be kid-friendly.
Of course, I can answer all questions about succubi.
I just want to know how many dead body parts do you have on your person right now?
I have at least 11.
Okay. What would you say is the weirdest body part you have?
Oh, that would be the antennae from a trox.
Okay, you seem like you would be very knowledgeable in this field. I would love to hear what you have to share with us about the dark arts.
Of course. Now, what would you like to hear first? The magical spells, perhaps learning about the demons and devils that can grant such marvelous powers?
Thiveron.
Oh, I forgot to introduce myself for a moment. My name is Kuzon.
Yeah.
No, really, what's your name?
Calzon, huh? Not
Kuzon.
I'm pretty sure Absalom Station doesn't approve of names like that.
The Zune is important. Kuzon with a K. Close though. Perfect.